States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are we good on technology or let's say?
Yep, he's
Good,
got
so that
it.
probably means we're good, okay. So we have a quorum this evening. We have myself, Holly, and Chris, and Amy, and Scott present this evening. And we do not have any emergency additions to add to the agenda. So if I could get a motion for approving the agenda as is.
I'll make a motion for approving the agenda.
I'll second.
All right, any discussions, questions on the agenda? All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda for this evening, please say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. All right, we have, Happy New Year, everyone. We do have, several things at the first of the month, for the first month of the year, that we have to, do as far as the board, election and, getting our officers straight for the year. So, currently I'm the board president, and so we just have to re-elect and reassign, president, vice president, and secretary, and then we'll have a couple other things we'll do after that. So, I will make a motion if Scott would like to take presidency.
I'll second.
Okay.
You guys are okay with what you're getting yourself into?
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, so then all those in favor for Scott Robertson taking the president for the school board, please say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Nobody, when he gets you, so you're good, Scott.
Too bad.
All right, so our vice president currently is Chris. And, anybody have a motion to nominate
I'd like
Chris?
to make a motion to see if Chris would continue as vice president.
I'd be glad to.
Okay, I will second. And, sorry, I'm catching up on my notes. And so all those, any discussions, any questions? All right, all those in favor for approving, Chris Dalton as our vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, or all those opposed, same sign. Okay, and so we have our secretary, current secretary is Amy Cotcamp, so, I can make a motion to, oh, well, it doesn't matter,
If you still feel like you want a position, you can
no,
have
it's okay.
Okay.
I'll be glad to take a break. So I will go ahead and motion to, have Amy Cotcamp continue to be our secretary.
I'll second.
Thanks, Chris. Any discussions? All right, all those in favor for Amy being the secretary for the 2026, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. And then we now have to appoint a legislative liaison that kind of does some communication with the Indiana School Board Association. So that is currently, Amy serves as that. I don't mind, Amy, if you want me to take that one, I can take that one.
Sure.
Okay, I've done it in the past, it's been a little bit. All right, but yes.
I will make a motion to appoint Holly as a legislative liaison to the Indiana School Board Association.
And actually, do we need to switch now that we've voted Scott president? Does
I
he
think
need
it's
to take
after this
over
meeting.
or after?
We can do it after the appointments and
After
then
the
we can
appointments.
take over the
Okay.
regular meeting.
Sorry, I realized that as
That's fine.
Yeah.
I
I'll
was making
second.
that motion. Okay, so Amy motioned that, she is electing Holly Schoen as the legislative liaison to the Indiana School Board Association, and Scott seconded. Any discussions? All right, all
Lots
those.
of activity there.
It is, I think I get those emails too.
No.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And then we just have our, we elect every year 2 members to the Capital Projects Committee, and currently it is Chris and Ray. Any motions out there? I can
I'll
make?
make a motion for Chris and Ray to continue on capital projects.
Okay, so capital projects, how often do you guys meet?
Well, right now, it's every other week.
Right.
Oh,
Now-
okay.
I will say that Scott has been a good alternate.
Okay.
So when somebody can't make it, they let him know and Scott can attend. So as long as that's still available.
Are you okay doing that?
I'm fine doing that, yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So I can second, Chris and Ray continuing on the capital projects committee. So that was-
You're motioning or you're seconding?
He,
She
Scott
motioned.
Oh,
motioned.
you made a motion.
Scott
That's-
motioned,
I
I
missed
seconded.
it, sorry.
Any discussions? We kind of did, just to clarify that in the event of absence, Scott can
Yeah,
step in.
appreciate
and
your-
someone else. Yeah, thank you.
Your
Yeah,
efforts so
that's
far, there's a
fine.
lot of activity going on, so appreciate the representation.
It's interesting.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And then we have our last appointments, and it is to appoint 2 members to the negotiations committee, and currently it's myself, Holly, and Scott. So, motions there, I don't mind continuing.
I'm willing to continue.
Okay,
So
make the motion
what are you motioning?
for you and Scott to stay.
I'll second.
Uh,
Alright. Any discussions? Alright, and we're on a 2-year
Yeah,
negotiation,
so-
so it's,
In all reality, there should be, but you never know.
yeah. Alright, and all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, so do you wanna take over, Scott?
That's fine.
Okay. We're gonna do a little shuffle, table shuffle
Thank you,
here.
Holly, for
Yep,
Yeah,
and I am honored to let Scott.
she might be doing a cartwheel on the way out.
I know, right.
So
Yeah.
Mr. Robertson is now the new president because it's a new year, 2026. And so he's going to move to the president's seat. Okay, so that's what just happened.
And we have some
Doesn't happen
students here,
all
we're just
morning.
explaining what's going on, so, some young Otterman students. Alright, maybe some future presidents. That's right.
Yeah.
Gotta go here, like.
That was fine.
Go.
Here we are.
Sure.
Okay, so first on the agenda is a audience to the visitors on agenda items. Do we have any, Simon?
No.
Okay. Moving on to routine matters. First item up for bid. B1, minutes of regular board meeting. Thank you, Chris.
Mhm.
From December 15th.
I'll make a motion, then it's a regular meeting on December 15th, 2025.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of December 15th. Is there any discussion about those minutes? All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. B2, vouchers and financial reports.
I'll make a motion for the approval of vouchers and financial reports.
I'll second.
Motion and second for the vouchers and financial reports. Any discussion? Questions? Anything weird?
No, I just point out that you would see in the transfers, the transfer from the referendum fund to the education fund to help support that. Also, our debt service payments were in this month, so that's why it's significantly higher.
Larger.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Really adds up.
Yeah.
Okay, motion and second. So all in favor of accepting vouchers and financial reports, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. B3, consider appointment of treasurer for 2026, currently Tracy Albertson.
I'll make a motion to continue having Tracy Albertson as our treasurer for 2026.
I'll
If she's so
second.
willing.
I'll second.
Didn't know there was
Sure nobody else wants to do this. Okay, motion and second for the appointment of Tracy as our treasurer for 2026. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider appointment of Judd Bars of Bars and Redland PC as corporation attorney for 2026.
I'll make a motion to consider appointment of Judd Bars of Bars and Redland PC as corporation attorney for 2026.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor of considering appointment of Judd Bars of Bars and Redland PC as corporation attorney for 2026? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Communications, so we just have a few donations to look at for this month. Mostly for lunch accounts, I believe it is. That's amazing that people do that. That's great. Okay, then moving on to C2 are fundraisers. So current fundraisers are Helping Hands, Pick a Date fundraiser, Junior High Student Council for the Junior High Dance, and the Spain Trip 2027, a Matchmaker Survey. So it's just to let us know what's going on. Then C3, we have a principal update. Mrs. Spitznagel, you have the floor.
So before I let my students come up and give a little presentation, we finished the year, wrapped up our boys basketball season as the champions, followed by a little sickness, but I am happy to report everyone is back, happy, healthy. You can count on one hand how many kids have been sick this week, so much better. Getting ready to start off our girls basketball season as well, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to have our second 9 weeks honor roll breakfast honoring 77 students in 3rd through 6th grade this coming Friday, so we're very excited about that. We did gain a few new students, so we are up to 172 students at Otterburn. And we are starting a new initiative on January 22nd. We have a parent that is going to start a All Pro Dad chapter at Otterburn, and that is a character-based curriculum that's going to help encourage communication and growth between dads or dad figures and their child. So we're hoping to maybe eventually build that up to just be a positive role model, not just dads. So very excited and that we have a parent willing to do that and heard a lot of great feedback. So we're going to kick that off January 22nd before school. So I'm very excited. Hopefully we'll have a lot of positive to bring up to that. Next, I would like to bring up 5 members of our robotics team. Obviously not everyone. We do have one that was sick that was going to come, but they have a little presentation I believe Dr. Zubin has.
You just
talking
tell me
about
when I need
Okay.
to click it.
I think you can click it. All right, you guys want to come up in front of them?
Here, a couple of you can slide this one.
He doesn't bite too hard.
That way. You can see it. There you go.
I think they're ready for you to click it, Dr. Zubin.
Okay.
So this is our robot that made it to semi-state, NILA. He has these are just like the stuff on him, a hammer, sweeper, pusher, and platypus bill, and that's everything.
Okay.
The names of our teams and robots. Team 1, Lost Technics. Robot name, Built Different. Team 2, Safety Hazard. Robot name, Annihilate. Team 3, E for Excellent. Robot name, Ebot.
You can click it.
Timeline of Annihilate. We started off by adding a long black cord. Then we added a hammer, but we didn't know if we wanted to use a wheel or Lego bricks. We decided to add the wheel for momentum and weight. Then we made it so both the hammer and the pole can move back and forth. Then we added a platypus part so we could raise the table. Then we made the pole longer than before. We started off by adding a
You can click that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. Okay.
Okay, so for our favorite parts of doing robotics this year, Joey's was having fun with my team building the robots. Wyatt was coding and learning new stuff. Ella was playing cards outdoors with my friends at the competition. How we included everyone. We all did some coding. And my personal fun, the fun of it and the ability to enjoy coding and building with Legos.
And Eli, I think yours got left off this one. Do you want to share what your favorite part was?
My favorite part was working with my teammates and building the robot. Thank you to Mrs. Asher, Mr. Rumsberg, all our Purdue mentors, Mrs. Jessica, and Professor Max, computer scientist, and first Lego League.
They did have a little something they added on this. I don't think it got added on. Do you guys want to tell?
It should be on the next page.
Well, I don't think the slide got updated. Do you want to share what your message you were given?
We were told to say that Mrs. Dalton is our favorite nurse.
Do you want to make sure that got on the screen?
Oh, wow.
In all seriousness, the robotics worked very hard this year. They started something new with Legos, thanks to Brandy for putting that order in for us. They competed and then were allowed to go to the semi-finals, or semi-state, and compete there. So it was a very knowledgeable experience, and they all really enjoyed it. So, do any of you want to add anything from your experience from robotics?
Is the season over?
Yes.
Okay, so, but do you still meet to do some team building things or prepare for next year? No, okay.
It'll be a whole different, it'll be a different thing next year.
A different task, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What grade are you all in?
Season 4, and then we're all fifth.
Okay.
And there are a couple
about-
6th graders.
How
in the team.
about going this way and saying your name, first and last name, and your grade? Okay?
My name is Clarence Dowdy, and I'm in 4th grade. My name is Joey Ever, and I'm in 5th grade. My name is Noah Davies, and I'm in 5th grade. My name is Wyatt Gibson, and I'm also in 5th grade. My name's Eli Jones, and I'm in 5th grade.
Very nice.
I think Mrs. Lang has another question for you.
So when I was taking their picture, I asked them about their competition. So you want to tell them a little bit about how you qualify for state? Because your robot doesn't just sit there, and it's not a battle bot. So it has to do things, right? What were some of the things it had to do?
So, it had to. The first thing it did was it went and completed this mineshaft thing where it basically just lifted it up. Then it came back, and then it went forward, hit down 2 things, but on the last try that it did everything right, it missed 1 thing. But then we have to quickly turn it, and then it goes to the other side, and then they have to switch some attachments and then line it up. Goes forward, turns, hits a couple things, and then it like hits down on this thing, launching out like some little gears. And then they take it, line it up again, and then it goes and then it hits a crane thing.
And Mrs. Asher has a big, 6-8 foot table that they practice on and going to take to other competitions. Does anyone want to explain how you qualified for the state?
So we just had we had a pretty good score on our first competition, and a couple teams weren't able to go, and so 2 teams were able to make it, and so but only 4 people were able to go, so we just combined teams, so all 3 teams kind of combined, but there's only 4 people.
And where was this competition?
The first one was just in Lafayette, but the second one was in Benson's.
Oh my, wow. My, okay. That was impressive.
Do you try out for robotics, or do you just
So-
apply for it, or how does that work?
Basically, what you do is you fill out a sheet, and it's a pamphlet to see how well you do with being able to work with other people and with coding and building some things, and the fact that you personally have to want to do it to qualify to sign in your pamphlet.
So can you do this again in 6th grade?
Yes.
How many of you would do it again?
We're hoping to go back to that state.
Alright.
But yeah, it was an application process.
Okay. Very cool.
And nice job presenting.
Yeah, nice job, guys.
Good speakers. Yes.
I like your shirt.
job, guys.
You are free to go. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, boys.
I like the back of their shirts. The computer class that they are required to take now has the 0 and 1 coding as part of it.
They did a nice job. This week.
Yeah.
Had to laugh, Mrs. Dalton thought she had to get that little.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They took it off, so no, you can leave it, it's okay.
So next up on our communications list is curriculum update.
Slides. I'd like to put the comments, maybe that'd be less than.
Okay, well, good evening and Happy New Year, yes. Incredibly, one of the seniors in the library today was talking about her scholarship, and I thought, it'd be scholarship season, I think. But it is. So I just briefly wanted to touch base with an update for curriculum in the elementary schools. We started the year with messages about being intentional and communicating. We have commitments using the reading curriculum, 120 instructional minutes, K-3, 90 minutes, grades 4 and 6. We're using Reveal Math, 60 instructional minutes, and we're really working on building strong number sense and fact fluency. That math screener is coming next year, math intervention next year. And so, of course, we're really being intentional with that instruction in those two areas. At Benton Central, we're also continuing to be intentional and foster communication. At our professional development next week, we have a visitor, Hunter Hickman's coming from Rensselaer, to talk with us about AI. And maybe you saw it over the weekend, they announced that Purdue will now require every graduate to have 5 classes or certifications in AI upon graduation. So we really feel like for our high school students especially, it's a component that it's out there and we need to work with them so that they are still becoming great critical thinkers, but they're able to use that tool. So Rensselaer's already adopted, and so Hunter he presented at Purdue. He's probably will go to work for Conmigo. I don't know. He's a great advocate of using it. So we're still in the investigation stage, but the good thing about Conmigo is it is free for all teachers right now, and so everyone can jump in and see how they could use it as a personal assistant. We will also be continuing our work with curriculum alignment and digging into and becoming those data hounds so that we are using our data to guide our instruction. Also, as we turn to the spring, we are really starting to look more at iLearn, making sure that our students are as prepared as possible for that summative iLearn and for the SAT. Both of those are big components of our school-wide letter grade and the accountability that we'll have. So as much as we would love to say, we're just doing such a great job doing all the things we do and we don't really care about testing, we do have to be mindful and prepare our students as best as possible to be ready for those assessments. And so I'll come back to conscious discipline on the front, but so I brought for you tonight, because we are in SRT, in our English classrooms and in our math classrooms, we are making sure that we're taking a look at some examples. And just so that you can get your mind around and remember the kind of questions that students have to look at on the SAT, lots and lots of charts. Anytime we can promote and introduce charts and cycles, we're doing lots of that in our classrooms because they see it on the WIDA, they see it on the PSAT and the SAT. So there's a couple of examples of English and of math
if you want to write down the answers, I do have them, just so you can quiz yourself. It's BDC C5. So the more we get those kinds of questions out there, the more we can get our teachers that aren't teaching ELA and math to incorporate SAT style questions within their content areas. The more practice our students have with charts and graphs and digging into them, with text and being able to dig it out, with that logical thinking. You know, this vegetable broth question could easily be tied into culinary. So we're just trying to promote that kind of pose the question, get people thinking and answering and feeling confident. And as we do head into the SAT, I thought this was great news. We were looking at data. The first sheet is the math growth. You can see that this chart, these are the students that will take the SAT in the spring, in March. So when they were 9th graders, their average score was 428. As 10th graders on the PSAT, NMSQT, it was 456. And in the fall, it was 479. So this is so great for our teachers to see that the work that we're doing every day, the practice, the homework, the quizzes, the lessons, is having such an impact on growth for our students as they prepare. And this slide is the ELA slide with reading and writing. Again, in 9th grade, those students at 434, 10th grade, 457, and then this fall, 483. So I felt like that was a good example of growth. For that, that's just one class, and it's just one assessment, but it is over 3 testing periods, and so that's good news for us. And finally, conscious discipline is again for the willing, but it is becoming pervasive. Conscious discipline skills, we have a lot of teachers frustrated with behaviors at times, or frustrated with lack of motivation at times. And so the coach that we've had, the training that we've had on the teacher workday when we came back, really the skills we're working on are noticing, adult assertiveness, composure, creating a safe place, and the 5 steps to regulation, which you'll hear more and more about a calming spot or a calming corner. This is different than you're doing a great job, take your tablet and go over and watch a movie or read on your own in this comfy spot. This spot is really for students to be able to learn to self-regulate, so that if I'm upset, I have some steps to go through and I start to understand how to handle it when things don't go my way. And so we are just continuing to talk more and more and have more professional development, more interaction with our coach about how to bring that to our classrooms. Okay. Very any questions? Thank you.
I did just want to reiterate that SRT, that student resource time, that time was created when we changed the school day. And BC had that extra time, and so they're choosing to utilize it in that way, which is intentional. So, yeah.
Yes, 2 days a week we have clubs. 2 days a week we have actually study time, time when it's called What I Need. So kids can meet with counselors, or they can have extra tutoring or extra time to practice and get some things done. And then we also have our brain break on Wednesday, which is teaching about regulation and resilience.
Yeah, good use of that time. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Baker. Okay, item C5, projects and facilities updates.
The board, you've been kept abreast of things. I just brought a few pictures so that people could see this, and but the pre-engineered metal building is going up right now, and if you're driving this way on 52, you can see it. Yeah, so it's coming along well. There's a few photos of that.
Now they have the front end
The lower
Yeah.
part, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, looks like a lean-to.
Yeah.
Lean-to, yeah. And then Otterburn is making progress, with the, block for that room. That room's gonna be the new music room, because the old music room will be our dining space.
And then are they starting on the brick too, or that pretty quick?
Yes, soon,
Yeah.
yes. And they're, getting everything waterproof, so to speak, so, making good progress, and we have a meeting
Tomorrow?
next week,
Next
yes,
week.
we meet every 2 weeks, so,
Mhm.
and it will
It
be
will be
at,
Otterburn.
at Otterburn,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so any questions on the,
What, remind me the anticipated completion of the annex at BC, do you know?
it should be spring, summer,
Yeah,
Before the next school year?
yes.
oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm,
That's what, okay.
yeah,
We're still, I mean, they haven't really had
they were
any
concerned,
setbacks, they're very
well,
on
they were
track.
concerned when it got real cold. We were
Yes.
Getting ready to do the block, but then it just flipped back, and
Yeah.
so now we're back.
yeah.
They really got a lot of, they just hit it pretty good with that timing of those
Yeah.
cold spells.
The one part of this project that may need to be altered or pushed a little bit is the gymnasium, because we wanna make sure that we utilize it the whole year,
Yeah.
so that, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That still should be ready by the beginning of school year, yes, yeah, so,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
So will it be not started until after the school year's out?
There's been talk with Carl that if the weather's looking well, that our PE could utilize the outside area, for PE class, and that they could get in. and
So
utilize
late
it.
spring maybe then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's the last couple weeks of school, you
Mhm.
can make work.
And any time helps, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks that we can get.
I will add, they
But-
needed to do some work in Mrs. Gobel's office area, and the custodial staff, especially those that came up from Benton Central the day they didn't have power, were able to get everything moved out so that they knocked that, whatever they needed to do in that office out in a day or two while we were off on break, so the timing of that worked really well.
Good, okay.
So if they start with the gym, though, wouldn't that impact your end of school graduation or celebration?
I thought about that.
And lunches?
Well, if the lunchroom's finished, we could.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Now, if
Wait,
graduation, it's nothing wrong with having it at the BC auditorium, you know, it's kind of big league, I know it's not what you've done, or you just wait, but that's a decision we
Yeah.
can,
Yeah,
Alright.
great thought.
yeah.
It's always something.
And the water got all done too, didn't it? Updated the
On the 20,
pressure.
yes. Are you talking about what happened on the 22nd?
Yeah.
December,
with the
yes,
new
that went
pressure
fine.
tank and all that.
Yeah.
At BC, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That went as scheduled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, item C6, strategic communication and promotions.
Yeah, I just wanted to put this on your radar, and it's been on your radar to some extent, but this is something that, the, firm, Deller, PR firm, it's the same firm that we used to engage in strategic communications back in 2020 before the referendum. And, we're looking to establish an agreement with them to continue to promote our programs. The plan evidently was always to continue to utilize them throughout these 8 years to just show what we're doing with our programming and with those dollars, which are the programs. And so we are going to work with them to start putting out some positive highlights, whether they are newsletters or social media posts. So just look for that. Next month, we should have an agreement there. But it's the firm that we've used before. Does anybody remember utilizing them?
Yeah, I worked with Jeff
I was gonna say we were
throughout the last
Uh-uh.
on the board yet,
Okay.
they were
referendum
just before us.
Yeah.
as a community member. But yeah, he kept things organized, even though it was in the height of the pandemic. All of our meetings were online. We had our first taste of Zoom. So it worked out. I mean, it did work out. He was very good at keeping us going and keeping us organized. Good guy.
Okay,
And he's
Just-
still there, that's the same.
he is, yeah, yes, he remembers us well, yeah. Seems like a nice
Saw
guy,
him at
for a
the-
good reason.
Yeah, at the
He did a
Indiana
fantastic
School
job.
Board Association,
Yes,
right? We
yes.
Connected with him again.
Yeah.
Okay, old business, we don't have anything showing up. E, new business, consider staff report and other personnel items. Get a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion to approve, consider the staff report and other personal items, consider normal staff report items.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to consider normal staff report items. Any discussion? Any questions? I get a motion to, or a vote, all in favor of staff report, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider approval for the following field trip requests. Benton Central Choir students to all-state choir competition on January 16th, 2026 through January 17th, 2026 at Purdue University, Fort Wayne. And also Benton Central boys wrestling team to Spartan Classic at the Centerville High School, December 29th, 2025 through December 31st, 2025.
I'll make a motion to consider the approval for the field trips for the BC Choir happening on January 16th to the 17th at Purdue, Fort Wayne, and then the boys wrestling team, the Spartan Classic, which had already happened at Central High School, and that was December 29th through December 31st.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor of this? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. E3, consider approval of IRS travel reimbursement rate of 72.5 effective January 1st, 2026. Get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the IRS travel reimbursement rate of 72 cents or 72.5 cents effective January 1st, 2026.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor of this, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. E4, consider approval of the 2026-2027 Indiana ESC School Fund Co-op member annual contract. Can I get a motion for that, please?
I'll make a motion to consider approval of the 2026-2027 Indiana ESC School Food Co-op member annual contract.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider approval of the updated student service coordinator job description. I get a motion for that, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of the updated student services coordinator job description.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider approval of the board resolution on compensation. I assume we'll have some discussion, so we need to start with getting a motion in a second, and then we can discuss what we think.
So I can make a motion for approval of the board resolution with possible changes on.
Yes, and
on
we can
that.
always amend
So,
the motion
okay,
to
all right.
whatever we choose.
Okay, so I'll make the motion for the approval of the board resolution on compensation.
And then, so I'll second that, but I would like to, are we tabling it then? Is that what we're doing?
You can, so you can discuss, and then depending on the discussion, you can amend or you can table. You can not vote on it, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
because that's what I personally would like to table. It's what I was wanting to do. I didn't feel like Ray has had much in the discussion and, I mean,
But
You guys
well, let's go ahead and discuss it just to kind of at least
Okay.
give us a
so
rundown of
I'll
it.
second it then to get the discussion.
Okay,
So we have a motion and a second, so we can have some discussion, and then you have a
I'll just remind everybody of why we're at this point. State statute, beginning July 1st of 2025, so this summer, upped the maximum amount for board compensation. And so that is 10% of the lowest starting teacher salary. Then they give maximum rates for regular board meetings and special board meetings. Now, just a little context. In 1983 was the original amount, and that's what Benton Community gets. And, has not changed since then. So I appreciate the, legislators understanding that things have changed since 1983. And so that's why I am recommending what it is that they're proposing. But it is a change. The per diem, that was available in 1989, but Benton Community Schools has not done that. So Benton Community Schools has always done the maximum amount that the state allows. So now that maximum has gone up, and you can choose to do that. It can't exceed 10% of the lowest teacher salary. And you can also, board members can be awarded a per diem for each meeting they attend. They understand all the meetings that people go to, so.
That's kind of where I had a question on that you say that, because I'll forget to ask. Probably more of a Tracy question than HR, but, so, I know you have to tend to be here, but
Mhm.
like, how does that go with tracking? Like, is that gonna be a nightmare, like, trying to,
No,
because that was the only, I mean, why
I mean, it
make
would be
more work
hard,
for
you
some-
would use the minutes to verify that you guys were here, because the minutes.
Do
that
we
you
have to
guys approved-
submit something, like, kind of you would if you go to a meeting or something?
I mean,
Or-
we could do something like that, but
I think it's
think the
per
main-
diem for the regular meeting and then,
I know
there's a different one for
there's
special.
specials,
yeah,
yes.
like executive
So the
session.
minutes could serve as the documentation.
Right.
But then are you talking though, like if you go to a state meeting or
No,
you
because
go
I don't
to,
think those count, but like we have executive sessions and stuff like
oh, I
on
see.
top of our regular meetings.
So
Yeah.
what they consider special meetings would be executive session, work sessions, and committee work.
Yeah, and our, like, we have a financial. meeting
So like on
after
the
this,
capital
that's-
projects, is that a
Yes.
committee and then you?
And we would have to, because currently we just show up, we would have to, we could do a sign-in sheet. But there is a tracking component, you're
Yeah,
right.
and that's why it's like, that kind of just sounds, like a nightmare,
I mean,
but.
that would be my hesitation of that.
Uh-huh.
I would be in favor of the base compensation and
Yeah.
the school board meeting compensation, because like you said, the attendance at school board is already taken care of in the minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's no additional work, but I would hate to create a job for somebody to track that and maintain it and calculate it. And, you know, it becomes a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's just for what it is. And I don't see that as being necessary, but just in my opinion. But the other thing that I've thought a lot about with this, and you know, I think a lot of us have the same feeling of feeling weird about voting our own raise. I mean,
Yeah.
you just kind of get that
Weird.
I'm
uneasiness.
I'm
about
honestly
doing
not
that.
very comfortable with it.
However, the state has thrust that into our laps, just like they've done with the TAG grant this year. It used to be across the board award for good teaching, and now we're kind of having to butt heads on how to award that. So they just don't consider the personal aspect of this sometimes. Now, if this came down as a mandate, okay, every school board member in the state of Indiana gets $5,000 or X amount of dollars, whatever it is, it would be different because that's a state mandated thing. But here now, they're putting it into our laps and saying, well, you can have up to this amount. You decide what you want. Well, that's a crock. I mean, come on.
How fair the other thing with the different funds, is this operations? That's because.
Cause
so-
you're paid, the
So
board
it's
members are
not
paid. for
referendum
operations.
money, correct? That's the thing that I've been thinking about. It's not referendum money, it's operations. Our operations has been holding its own currently, but, and I just think, I mean, this is my 6th year. And I've seen a lot of raises come through in the 6 years from teachers and staff standpoints, and I mean, it's about time the state does something to kind of compensate the board members. So I'm in favor of it, knowing going on 6 years and like what we've seen in the 6 years. And we have a very active board. We've got, I don't know how many hours of us going to ISBAs amongst all of us. We're over 90 hours easily. Some of us are 90 alone. So it's not like we're not doing our job.
We have a lot
So-
going on too.
Yeah, and so I have no problem.
And I just wanna emphasize 1983.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 40 years. And just a few years ago, they upped the minimum that teachers get. So when the state recognizes the need to deal with inflation or to make sure that we are compensating all of our people, I don't know how this is any different, except that it hasn't happened very often.
And it's a cap, it's not like we get,
Correct.
and we don't even have to go for it all, but considering we've had the same, our board, and it's gonna change, I mean, this year and 2 more years, it's gonna change, so we're setting them up for good people to come in and, at least get somewhat compensated. Right now, it's,
And they changed
bare
the
minimum.
language to a percent of the base salary. I see that as, so they don't have to keep changing it, and that it does keep up with whatever it correlates. I see an effort there to recognize that.
So it's not staying stagnant.
Correct. Whereas that cap since 1983 was 2,000.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really run to get paid. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
none of
didn't,
us did.
honestly, I didn't even know you got paid when I ran.
I think
Until I tried to.
I'm still in the PTO for 18 years that you didn't get paid for any of it.
Yeah.
So
I know we've all served on many committees and communities, and that's just part of it.
Yeah.
BEA, how many teachers do you think are in our corporation for the pay? How many people go into education for the pay?
Not many.
No. No,
Yeah.
it's just something that you kind of accept. However, show of hands with you guys, how many of you have missed family events by coming to attend a board meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Multiple.
All of you have.
Yeah.
So there needs to be some, even though it might be small, some compensation for that.
Mhm.
But I think taking that, class we watched on Robert's Rules, I think from what I got from that, part of what I got from that meeting is when you table an item, tabling still needs to happen the same meeting. So if we wanted to move this to another meeting, I think the technical term is postponement. Is that it? I think that's.
I believe that's right.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so if we don't wanna deal with it this meeting, I know we've had some good discussion, but if we still, if we wanna talk about it more, see what Ray feels about it.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him.
I don't think we should make a decision without his input, I agree with that. So if we wanna postpone this for a future meeting, then we can do that.
If somebody makes a motion to change that, I make a motion to postpone.
Okay, so we need a motion to postpone this item.
I'll make a motion to postpone this item.
I'll second.
And then will that automatically go in, like, the minutes for, not minutes, but the agenda for next
Yeah.
meeting, right? Cause I know
Yeah.
we've tabled and like it kinda did get lost in the shuffle
Okay.
if we don't.
No, I agree with that, totally.
So we have a
postpone.
motion and a second to postpone this
Yeah.
E6 for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, now we're F1, which for public comments on non-agenda items. Do we have anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, nobody
No,
does.
nobody? The end of the road here. Board and superintendent comments? Does
I just
anybody
had a
have
couple more that I didn't add in time here.
anything? Sure.
As you're aware, the before and after school that Champions Kindercare does, Prairie Crossing only had 4 or 5 students, and so as I told you a couple weeks ago, they are no longer at Prairie Crossing. If those students needed support, we are handling that and taking them over to Otterburn. And Oxford Library is doing a good job with after school.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, we will need to come up with a solution. I have another organization that is interested. I have an idea that that's gonna be similar to Champions in Kindercare. So, in all honesty, I'm working with our staff right now to see if we can't organize that again, but make sure that we have parameters in a much more solid place. So in the upcoming weeks and month or so, we'll try to get a decision on how we're gonna support Prairie Crossing with that. And I'll keep you posted, but I hope by spring break we have a solution. I don't wanna jump to do something too soon and not have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So just wanted to give you the heads up on that. And then update on where we stand regarding the snow makeup days. Okay, so we put that all into place and we're ready to go and we haven't had any, that's okay. But remember, we still have one more inclement weather day before synchronous learning. But Otterburn had to use synchronous learning and worked out pretty well.
Yep, overall, I had a lot of great feedback from all of our staff members on it. Granted, it was 2 days before Christmas break and everyone was kind of eager. A lot of the students, they weren't wanting to get off those Zooms at the end date. I know you have some people who were negative about it, but overall, I think it was very positive. We are having grade level meetings tomorrow where I'm going to meet with each grade level and we're going to talk about, hey, what went well and what sports do you need for me? And then with that, I'm going to encourage my staff to be that resource for Prairie Crossing because we've been there, we've done it, we kind of got thrown into it. So hopefully we can help Prairie Crossing as anything comes up.
Was there any specific parent concerns over it?
I mean, you had a couple, nothing that came across to us, just some things we saw on social media and such. Overall, again, it was very positive. I think parents appreciate knowing when the end date is going to be and realize it's not the best instruction, but it's better than going to the middle of June. And I will elaborate too, I think, I had a staff member, I think, email all of you guys, but a lot of the non-certs are very appreciative for being allowed to work remotely on those days. It kind of helps give them some training that they enjoy, that they find useful in their jobs, but also helps realize that they have bills and stuff as well, and letting them still get paid while working has been great.
Well, it's good to have a sampling of that before we
Yeah.
get full speed.
Hopefully we don't need it, but it's early yet.
Have we had any traction on a trainer, athletic trainer?
We have a possibility. There's some student, now is the time that students will be graduating. I just met with Mr. Rob and Mr. Hall. And so we have some leads and we probably will be posting here in the next month because it's a good time to do that.
So are we still partnered up with Franciscan or did we break that?
No, we are because they provide that after school taping and their wins. What Mr. Hall does some of that.
Yep.
But we have the person come over every Wednesday to do some assessments, and then we have them at the main events.
Oh, okay.
So we still have them in that capacity, we just don't have them all the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we're still attached to Franciscan right
Okay,
now.
I didn't know that.
Yes, so I'll
Okay.
keep you posted.
Yeah.
And the cell phone policy survey, I as a parent got that. That's kind of stems from some of the pending legislation that's out there right now, even further restricting the use of cell phones within the school day. So that was a prompted to kind of see where people stand.
Right.
I think the kids will survive, but
From an admin standpoint, it's really nice not having those. You don't have to worry about that gray area and what are they using it for. I know elementary is a lot different than high school and middle school, but it's been a nice that it's, hey, this is state. It's not a school, it's not a building, it's expanding.
yeah. It'll be interesting what transpires across the state.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see the
Yeah. Like you said, I think the students and the staff are okay with that. I think it's just
it's the
a new
parents.
learning curve for
Parents.
the parents and being in contact. Yeah.
I would agree.
So
So
when
that's
we get more information, we'll,
Yeah.
or when we get mandates, we'll.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing out there right now that's pending. There's a lot of things happening, but
That's
that's
the big talk right
pretty,
now.
yeah, pretty, lots of interest there.
I think it's important to note, like, the reason isn't because of discipline, it's because of mental health.
Yes.
Like, if parents realize mental health is the reason we're trying to get them off of it so much more than what they are, then, like, who doesn't want their child to be mentally healthy and not depressed? So, like, I think there's some misunderstanding of why we're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're always on it and they're, you know, whatever.
There's some
Yeah,
good research out there that
yeah.
shows anxiety
Well, it's,
Yeah.
and some
It's very alarming.
Yes.
you can't focus if it's constantly, you know,
And
being,
reading and academic progress.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely some good reasoning behind it.
Anything else before we adjourn?
No.
Okay,
That's it.
we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Don't leave yet.